Welcome. And a final thank you for this part of the evening to the Success Lion Dance Troupe for their fantastic performance down the aisle and back up onto the stage. It's not the first time that the troupe has performed in the museum. In fact, they actually were here 18 years ago for the opening of this building as the Museum of Man became the Museum of Civilization and opened in the new building. So 18 years later, the Success Lion Dance Troupe are wiser, wealthier, and I'm pleased to say that they're not suffering from arthritis. Let's see. Avant le spectacle, vous avez probablement remarqué que nous avons peint les yeux du lion. Cela s'appelle la cérémonie de l'éveil du lion, the waking of the lion. En Chine, peindre les yeux du lion ou le dragon est une cérémonie traditionnelle pour inaugurer l'événement culturel et social d'envergure. Une fois que ces yeux apparaissent, l'animal prend vie et apporte la chance et la prospérité au projet et aussi apporte la santé aux gens qui prennent part. Il y a 4 ans, commençaient les discussions et ensuite les négociations afin de créer un partenariat culturel entre 2 grands musées nationaux, le Musée canadien de civilisation et le Musée national de Chine. Et il y a 2 ans, à Beijing, j'ai eu l'honneur de signer un accord historique entre ces 2 musées avec mon homologue de la Chine. Le Premier ministre du Canada et le Premier ministre de la Chine étaient présents à cette cérémonie qui se déroulait au Grand Palais de Bulle à Beijing. The agreement that we initially and eventually signed was a reciprocal agreement between this museum and the National Museum of China. It involves an exchange of major exhibitions between our 2 museums, the first exchange of its kind between Canada and China. Now, the first part of this exchange is starting right now, tonight, with the opening of Treasures from China, which is an exhibition of some of the finest historic artifacts from the National Museum. I'd actually point out that in some ways, the exchange began some years ago because of the movement of staff back and forth across the oceans in order to look at information and approaches and techniques. And in fact, this exchange between individuals is what has laid the basis for the excellent work that has resulted in this exhibition. But tonight, of course, we're talking about the exhibition. Many of the pieces in it are so rare, so significant, that it is the first time that they have been permitted to be shown outside China. So the exhibition is very special. It's without parallel, and it is appearing exclusively here at our museum. Most important, we think that this exhibition provides a unique approach for a museum visitor to see the treasures and through the artifacts to learn about China's long and rich cultural history and its contributions to world civilization. Les visiteurs se trouveront en présence de 5000 ans d'histoire chinoise, depuis la période antique jusqu'aux périodes dynastiques et impériales de la vie nationale chinoise. Et quand je dis 5000 ans, franchement, c'est une sous-estimation. Il y a deux objets, deux outils de pierre qui remontent à une période humaine d'à peu près 500 000 années. Et ces deux objets sont les deux petits artefacts jamais mis en exposition ici. Mais à part de ces deux objets, nous présentons les identiques artefacts. On peut y voir des objets en céramique, en sculpture de cheval, en peinture, des œuvres calligraphiques, des tissus de soie, ainsi que des objets de bronze, d'or et d'argent. Ce que je veux souligner, c'est tout simplement que ces objets sont importants en eux-mêmes et ils sont bénéfiques, surtout parce qu'ils ouvrent une fenêtre sur des aspects différents de l'histoire de la Chine. En effet, nous voulons donner aux visiteurs l'occasion de découvrir et de mieux comprendre des périodes historiques, des tendances sociales, des conflits, des succès de cette civilisation extraordinaire. I really want to underline that. The objects are important in themselves, but even more so, they're important for what they tell us about the evolution and the achievements and complexities of Chinese civilization. I'll mention one of them. One of the objects in the exhibition is a jade cone, a cylinder, which dates from between 3,300 and 2,200 BC. That is approximately 5,000 years ago. This cone was used in rituals of worship. It is square on the outside, symbolizing the earth, and it is round on the inside, symbolizing heaven surrounding the earth. It was used by a spiritual priest, a shaman, to communicate with the spirits of heaven and the spirits of earth. The cone was undoubtedly owned by a wealthy noble, as most cones that have been discovered have been found in large, elaborate tombs, themselves a symbol of wealth. So what you have here is an object that is rare and that is beautiful, but equally important, it's an object that helps to explain spiritual practices and relationships between wealth and power in a particular era in that society. And this, to me, is the essence of what a museum exhibition is all about. Why it's not television, and it's not radio, and it's not a book, and it's not a speech. It helps us to appreciate a society that is distant in time and distant physically, geographically. It helps us to appreciate objects in and of themselves. In the end, it helps us to appreciate a contemporary culture which has its roots in living memories of a distant and a near distant past. This is what we try to do. Alors, je vous ai mentionné que l'accord muséal entre nos deux musées comporte deux volets. Et c'est en 2008, l'année prochaine, qui sera mise en œuvre le second volet de notre échange. En effet, le musée des civilisations, nous autres, préparons actuellement une exposition spéciale consacrée aux nombreux trésors historiques des peuples autochtones du Canada. Cette nouvelle exposition sera présentée l'année prochaine à Beijing, alors que la capitale chinoise accueillera le monde aux Jeux olympiques d'été. Mais ça va durer bien au-delà de la période de 2 semaines des Jeux. Les visiteurs, les citoyens de Beijing, qui comportent à peu près 18 millions d'individus, c'est pas pire ça, 18 millions, c'est plus qu'en Québec premier. Ces visiteurs auront un accès privilégié à l'histoire ancienne et actuelle, l'histoire actuelle des premiers peuples du Canada. So, that brief description, which you'll hear a lot more about tonight and in the future, it gives me a terrific pleasure to introduce a colleague, a friend, His Excellency Luc Chemin, the Ambassador of the People's Republic of China, the Ambassador here to Canada. Luc Chemin.
The Honorable Jim Edward, Parliamentary Secretary, the Minister of Heritage and Women Affairs, the Honorable Senators and Members of Parliament, Your Excellencies and the colleagues of the Diplomatic Corps, and Mr. Dong Qi, the Deputy Director of the National Museum of China, and Mr. Joseph Gambirti, Director, Government and Community Relations, Air Canada, distinguished guests, ladies and gentlemen, bonsoir. My colleagues and myself are very much appreciative of this wonderful occasion that we can come and attend the official opening of the exhibition Treasures from China and appear before this distinguished audience. So first of all, please allow me on behalf of the Chinese Embassy in Canada and also in my own name to warmly congratulate on the opening of this magnificent exhibition. I also want to take this opportunity to pay a particular tribute to Canadian Museum of Civilization and the National Museum of China for bringing this marvelous exhibition to Canada. For the last 28 months, since the exchange of exhibition agreement was signed in Beijing, the two great national museums have been working tirelessly on this landmark exhibition, and look what a fantastic job they have accomplished today. Let's give them a big round of applause for their success. Ladies and gentlemen, Treasures from China is probably one of the most important and historical exhibitions from China touring Canada. It not only brings to Canadian audience an unprecedented collection of 120 pieces of finest artifacts illuminating the rich history and the remarkable achievement of the Chinese people, but also help North American visitors better understanding China's contribution to the world's cultural heritage. In return, next year, as part of the exchange exhibition agreement, the Canadian Museum of Civilization is sending to Beijing an exhibition showcasing the treasures of Canada's first peoples. And the timing could not be better. It's Olympic time. I'm sure the Canadian exhibition will be enthusiastically received in China and help the Chinese audience better understand your great culture. You may all know this year marks the 37th anniversary of the establishment of diplomatic relations between China and Canada. Looking back on the course of our bilateral relations, we find that the cultural exchanges and cooperation between China and Canada are of great significance for enhancing the mutual understanding and friendship between our two peoples, and advancing the constructive and the cooperative relations between our two countries. 37 years ago, we could hardly imagine the magnitude and the depth of China-Canada exchanges and the cooperation as we see it today. Now, thanks to the tireless efforts by both sides, including the efforts by people present here tonight, the two countries have developed a wide-ranging and in-depth cultural bond. Ladies and gentlemen, the world is colorful and diverse. Nations need to draw upon each other's culture and to pursue common prosperity. As two great and culturally diverse nations, China and Canada have broad bases for cooperation and have enormous shared interests. History tells us that it is the national interest, rather than ideologies, that underpin the cooperation between our two nations. The cooperation between our two countries has a direct impact on the future of our two peoples and that of the world. We cannot afford to rest on our oars and need to make a further effort to tap the vast potential. A long-term and a strategic vision serve the best interest of our two great nations. I'm happy to see Canadian Museum of Civilization and all of you present tonight have already embraced this vision, and I applaud all of you for your great strides in helping to build a bridge of understanding and of friendship between our two peoples. Here I can assure you that the Chinese Embassy is ready to work more closely with all of you on these objectives. Finally, I'd like once again congratulate on the opening of this landmark exhibition, which I'm sure is going to be a tremendous success. And I hope you all enjoy the evening and the exhibition. Merci.
尊敬的阿比诺维奇先生，
Dr. Victor Yanukovych,
尊敬的卢树林大使，
His Excellency Ambassador Yushin,
各位来宾、女士们、先生们，
distinguished guests, ladies and gentlemen,
由中国国家博物馆和加拿大文明博物馆共同主办的来自中国的珍宝中国国家博物馆馆藏展今天隆重开幕。
welcome to the opening ceremony of the Treasure from China, collections from the National Museum of China, co-presented by the National Museum of China and the Canadian Museum of Civilization.
请允许我代表中国国家博物馆，向为本次展览付出辛勤劳动的中加两国专家及有关人士表示衷心的谢意。
On behalf of the National Museum of China, please allow me to express my sincere gratitude to the experts and the working staff who have devoted their diligence to this exhibition. Thank you all.
中国和加拿大都有着辽阔的疆域，也有着独特的民族文化。
Both with broad territory, China and Canada have greatly diversified culture of ethnic minorities.
2005年，在两国总理的见证下，中国国家博物馆与加拿大文明博物馆签署了关于筹备交换展览的谅解备忘录，拉开了两馆合作办展的序幕，也为两馆之间实现长期交流与合作打下了良好的基础。
In 2005, in the presence of the two prime ministers, the two museums signed a memorandum for exhibition exchange, which is not only the prelude of the cooperation between our two museums, but also a solid foundation for long-term communication and cooperation in the future.
来自中国的珍宝中国国家博物馆馆藏展是两馆交换展览之一，包含了120件套中华瑰宝。其 其中一品23件。
This exhibition, Keeping Alive, is one of the exchange exhibitions between the two museums. 120 pieces of treasures from China features this exhibition, 23 of which are Rich's premium masterpiece.
这些珍贵文物跨越了年代，从遥远的旧石器时代，一直到中国最后一个王朝结束时的1971年。
Those precious items represent the every historical period from the Paleolithic period to the lost dynasty of ancient China in 1911.
通过这些文物的展示，可以使加拿大观众对悠久灿烂的中国古代文化有一个大致的了解。
I do hope the Canadian audience could enjoy themselves and know more about the Chinese culture in this visit of the splendor of China from ancient time.
我们相信本次展览的举办一定会增进加拿大和中国两个国家、两国人民的友好感情。
I also wish this exhibition will bring the two peoples and the two countries into greater friendship.
最后，预祝展览取得圆满成功。
Wish you complete success for the exhibition.
谢谢大家。
Thank you all.
You know, Dr. Dong is not merely someone who is fulfilling a role. I must tell you that he is one of the great personal supporters of this entire project. We were talking a little while ago and recalling a meeting and a dinner that we had at the home of the then ambassador to China from Canada, Joseph Saron. And Dr. Dong took me aside and we sat and he said, these were the earliest days of the whole concept. We hadn't even begun, really. He said, I am personally interested in this. This is going to happen, this exchange between our countries. So really, Gongxi are owed a lot for making this happen. I want to thank our major partner and official airline, Air Canada, which has provided round-trip air transportation for all of these artifacts. You can imagine how safe transportation of special treasures is a key to international museum work, for that matter, to national museum work. And having Air Canada as a partner has really made it possible for this to take place. And so please, with those words of introduction, welcome Joseph Yalberti, the Director of Government Relations from Air Canada.
Ladies and gentlemen, distinguished guests, I'll be keeping my remarks pretty short this evening. At Air Canada, we're tremendously committed to the Chinese market. It's very important for us. We view it as a privilege to be able to, through the airline, build a bridge between our two great nations, Canada and the People's Republic of China. We view this opportunity to sponsor this magnificent exhibit as an opportunity to continue that commitment, to build the bonds of common understanding. I, on behalf of Air Canada, would like profoundly to thank the Museum of Civilization and the National Museum of China for the opportunity to partner and bring these tremendous works to this great facility. I would like to thank them and let them know how honored we are as a company on behalf of our 35,000 employees around the world to what a deep honor it is to be entrusted with these magnificent works. And with that, I'll leave you with these words. Just when you leave here, please go out and tell everyone to come down to the museum and see these great objects, and let's continue to build that bridge of understanding. Thank you.
Un titre complémentaire pour cette exposition, le musée a produit un audio guide qui est disponible en 4 langues, anglais, français, mandarin et cantonais. Alors, les visiteurs pourront effectuer un voyage à travers la Chine en commençant avec un outil vieux de 500 000 ans et en se terminant par un vol la quai rouge ornée de dragons et de dragons phénix de la dynastie Qing. I want to thank two other supporting partners who have been so helpful to us. They are GE Canada and the Canadian Foundation for Chinese Heritage Preservation. Their assistance and their contribution has made possible a publication that we will show you later on and that is available in our boutique. And their assistance has also made possible the audio guide in 4 languages. I want to thank Dr. Chen Shen from the Royal Ontario Museum for his scholarly contribution to the audio guide. And one last thank you, and you sometimes see it on other exhibitions, and that's a thank you to the Department of Canadian Heritage, who have supported this exhibition, as they have supported other exhibitions, through what is called the Canada Travelling Exhibitions Indemnification Program. And those are big words, indemnification. Let me tell you that without the government indemnification program, a museum like ours, a museum like our colleagues across the water here in the Musée of Ottawa, would not be able to afford the private insurance for these types of valuable artifacts. So this is a small, quiet way in which the government and the department make museums operate effectively. And with those words of thanks, let me present now the Oriental Dance Troupe of Ottawa, who will perform the sculpture of Dun Quang, inspired by the Dun Quang frescoes. They will take us into a dreamland of the ancient and mysterious Silk Road. Ladies and gentlemen, the dancers from the Oriental Dance Troupe of Ottawa. publié un livre souvenir intitulé Splendeur de Boutin, qui présente certains des objets les plus rares et magnifiques de l'exposition. La version anglaise, Timeless Splendor, est également disponible. Et l'auteur de ce livre est M. Van Saint-Paul, notre conservateur du Sud-Est asiatique. Merci beaucoup, Van Saint. Merci beaucoup. Ladies and gentlemen, the souvenir book, Timeless Splendor, which features some of the most beautiful and valuable objects from, you can see it all down there. Really, it is quite lovely, and do take advantage of it, and do take advantage of the productions tonight in the Special Exhibitions Boutique. This exhibition, these are my final words, this exhibition has been an immense undertaking, crossing a continent, crossing an ocean in different languages and different cultures. I really want to thank the staff here in Gatineau and in Beijing for the work that has made this possible. They have handled so many challenges: the preparation of the detailed agreement, the insurance, the design, the selection of artifacts, the supporting research, the weighting, the packing, the installation, the production of the audio guide, the special purchases for the boutique, the relations with communities here in other cities, the relations with media, and it goes on and on. So to all of our staff in exhibitions, in research, in public affairs, in the commercial branch,